Hi, this is Luke of the Gamer, and I'm going to guide you through Chapter 8 of the Resident Evil 4 remake. At the end of the previous chapter in the Resident Evil 4 remake, Leon was separated from Ashley. While Chapter 8 is comparatively short, not having to protect Ashley means the game is willing to throw everything it has at you. From new enemy types to a pulse-pounding boss fight, this is one of the more action-packed chapters in the game. So if you're confounded by the Zealot leader and his Plaga-enhanced magic, or you're having trouble dodging rocks during the rooftop battle with El Gigante, this video will see you through this tricky chapter. So as the chapter begins, turn to your left. As you go along this path, you might notice a body of water to your left. In this body of water are some fish that you can kill and pick up for healing at a later point. As you proceed along the normal path, you'll run into the good old merchant again, and now he'll be selling body armor. This will allow you to reduce the amount of damage you take from physical attacks. But like the knife, it has durability and it'll have to be repaired every so often. When you're done with the merchant, proceed onwards and eventually you'll come into a room with all these bodies in it. Head up the left and then look for this railing to jump over on the right. Once you land, go to your left, and as you walk into the room you'll see this happen.
Gloria a las plagas! Gloria a las plagas!
These new red robe cultists are extremely dangerous as they have the ability to cause parasites to emerge from other cultists. But they don't know you're in the room yet, so creep around to your right and head up the stairs. There's a couple of enemies up here you can quickly stealth kill, and then you can drop the chandelier on the two cultists you saw in the cutscene earlier. The rest of the cultists will know where you are and they'll start coming for you. Because of the red robed cultist, it's likely that you'll run into other enemies with parasites exposed. So if you find yourself getting overwhelmed, don't forget that flashbangs will instantly kill any parasite that's emerged from a cultist's head. Otherwise you'll need to fight through all the cultists to get to the red robed one and kill him. However, he can take a lot of damage, so be prepared to use up a good bit of resources to take him down. Once you've killed him, grab the crimson lantern off his corpse and clear out the room. At the back of the room where you might have encountered this cultist, there's also a chest with a mirror with pearls and rubies inside. Once you're done here, head back to the room you dropped into earlier and interact with the left statue and use the crimson lantern on it to open the door in the middle. In the next room there'll be a bunch of armoured suits. At the end there'll be a locked door that has a chest behind it, but we can't get to this yet, so don't worry about it. If you look to your right, you can unlock a door that will send you back into the room with all the dead bodies, but to progress you'll need to head to the door left of that locked door. In here, once you go up the stairs and go through a second door, make sure to look up and you'll see a casket that contains a gemstone. Then go to your left and head all the way to the end. Once you enter this room, another cutscene will trigger, where Leon will be reunited with an old friend.
You can stop right there, Leon. Wouldn't make me use this, would you?
Well, after 6 years, that is one hell of a greeting, Ada.
You don't seem surprised. Interesting.
Try using knives next time. Better for close encounters.
After the cutscene ends, you'll see in front of you what is clearly some kind of trick door that can be opened. But first we'll need to collect several stones. One is immediately to the left of the door, and then if you turn around, another can be found in this cabinet. You just need to smash the glass. The last one is found to the left of the door you entered the room in. But before we get onto the puzzle solution, there's also a couple of treasures in here. To the left of the fireplace is a treasure chest containing an extravagant clock that you can inlay gemstones in to raise its value. There's a casket hanging above the door you entered the room through as well. Shooting that, you can get a silver token from it. Lastly, there's a locked drawer that needs a small key, but we'll come back to that one. So head back to the door and use the 3 lithographic stones. You'll then need to place them in a certain pattern to open the door. As you can see, that pattern is on screen right now. If it seems confusing, don't forget that all the stones are double-sided, so they might be in the wrong way and you'll need to flip them to find the right placements. With the stones in the correct position, the door will open and we can proceed. It's a pretty straight path from here, but at this point when you walk up a staircase you'll see something run by. Make sure that when you walk through this door to go to your left, as there's a small key there that we can use to open the locked drawer in the previous room. If you fancy going all the way back, then you'll be rewarded with a brass pocket watch. Heading back on course, you'll come to a corridor that's blocked and you'll need to move this obstruction out of the way. At the end of the corridor you'll see this parasite has learned a new trick that wasn't in the original game. That enemy will then blindly rush towards you at incredibly high speed, so be careful of this. Also be careful of the fact that when you kill the body, the parasite itself will still be alive and you'll need to kill that as well. With those two things out of the way, continue along this very straight path and we'll run into the merchant again. So you can repair your body armor here or tune up your weapons if you want to. Once you're ready to move on, turn around and break the counterweight to lift up the gate. Move down this path where you'll be greeted with a raised drawbridge. Again, there's a counterweight to the left, so just smash that and it'll drop down. And there'll be some cultists waiting to greet you. So take them out quickly and we'll continue onwards. In this room we'll be introduced to a new type of object. Which side the switch is on also affects which doors are open, because as you can see some doors have a sun icon above them and some will have moon above them. If you open the first one you see and then climb up the ladder, you'll see some cultists on the other side of this cage who won't be able to get to you straight away. So clear them out and pull the switch again, changing it back to sun. Drop down and head through this door, and then drop down into this area and continue onwards. There'll be a few cultists along the way. Eventually you'll come across another switch, so change it back to moon so that we can proceed onwards. Heading through this door, we'll climb up and there'll be a switch on your left, but don't worry about that. Climb up to your left and in the next area there'll be a couple of cultists to take out. Drop down this hole and then quickly turn around because there'll be a cultist who's going to immediately throw his scythe at you, so try and be ready for that. Once you've taken out that scythe thrower, there'll be another cultist around the corner and he'll probably try to take a quick swing at you, so watch out for him. To the right of where you just ran into that cultist, there's another chest, so make sure you open that up and grab the treasure inside. This time it's an ornate necklace. Do a U-turn and climb up this ladder, there'll be a barrel you can smash, and to the right, there'll be a door that you can open. Head up the staircase and fight off a few more cultists, and then make sure to shoot the counterweight on this side, this will come in useful. Then turn to your right and pull this so you can proceed up the staircase, and as you reach the top, there's somebody who wants to say hello to us. When the cutscene ends, turn to your right and jump down. Follow the castle wall along and climb up the ladder on top of the other tower. Here I'd recommend hiding behind the walls to avoid the next ball of debris that El Gigante throws. Then head into the elevated central area where you'll find a yellow herb and a gemstone in a treasure chest. After that, if you circle around to the back of this area, you can also find a clockwork castellan. After that, backtrack to the same area where the El Gigante first appeared. Then head off to your left instead. Before you run the castle walls, hide to the right and wait for him to throw, and then run across the walls into the next area, where you're going to run into some cultists, so be aware of that. Head around to the back of this tower and you'll be safe from El Gigante, but these cultists might not be so friendly. However, they could get caught by El Gigante's debris throwing, so that could help. When you're ready to move on, start heading to the left again. There'll be some archers on the other side of the walls, but just drop down and then turn around. It'll bring you into a room with another switch. Make sure it's switched to sun and then go out the right door and drop down again. When you're in here, U-turn and head into the room behind you, and on the roof there'll be a casket with a gemstone in it. Then wait for El Gigante to do another throw of debris, and once he does, go for the ladder so you can get back up to the second floor. Once you're up the ladder, turn to your right and run straight through so you don't get caught by any more debris. Although I chose to run to the left firstly just to make sure I was covered. Once you're in here, you'll find another cannon. And I think you know where this is going. So smash the counterweights on the 2 floors and the cannon will be brought to the very top. So when you reach the top and the cannon's in position, first of all just hide behind the barricade and wait for him to do another debris throw, and then get on the cannon and aim it directly at the El Gigante for this beautiful moment.
Adios, you son of a bitch.
Then just turn the cannon to the left, there'll be a few cultists down there you can blow up with the cannon, and make sure you shoot the big door at the back to blow it open so we can proceed onwards. With the El Gigante down we can move onwards, but it might be worth just checking your map to see if there's anything you've missed around here. If not and you're ready to move on, then head left and let's go towards that door we just blew up. But there's one last surprise along the way.
Sorry, I've had my fill of you guys.
After that cutscene, just continue to head forwards and eventually you'll come to an area with a big hedge maze. Before you go through this door in front of you, make sure to check the treasure chest on the left. In my case, it contained a accessory, the stylish mask, and a gold token for the shooting range. After that, unlock the door and head in to trigger a cutscene and the end of Chapter 8. So that's a guide to Chapter 8 of the Resident Evil 4 remake. Thanks for watching, and if you think I've missed anything, then feel free to leave it in the comments below. Otherwise, check out thegamer.com for more.